Sometimes when a story is in the news week after week, we begin to get numb. We shut our eyes and close our ears. We know that stories about AIDS victims get that reaction from some people. Maybe it's because so far there hasn't been one with a happy ending. We wish we could offer that tonight. What we have instead is a story filled with peace and courage. A superb athlete, a remarkable man, has learned to live with his disease. And that is his latest victory in a life of accomplishment. Dick Schaap has his story.
But Dad, these are good shots of you and Grandpa.
Sunday in the park. 3 generations. A child, her father, and her grandfather.
Oh, look, we found some flowers.
Sunday in the park, sharing precious moments by the bay in San Francisco.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Sunday in the park. Nothing to disturb the beauty, except the father has AIDS.
If I have any real sadness, it's over the fact that I probably won't see her in her teens. I mean, if I could hang on that long.
Oh, you will.
I'm very realistic about it. And I don't kid myself.
Tom Waddell doesn't kid himself. He doesn't kid other people. He is painfully honest about his illness, about his life. He was a paratrooper in the United States Army. He was a decathlete in the 1968 Olympic Games. He is a doctor who once served as the personal physician to the brother of the King of Saudi Arabia. He is Jessica's father, and he is dying.
I've got AIDS. And I look at the statistics, I look at what that means, and I'm given a set of choices. I can freak out, which isn't going to do me any good at all. Or I can say, this is what is. Am I going to put my head under the sheets and just scream and yell and cry? No, I can't do that. Yeah, there's my alarm.
Tom Waddell is 50. He is on AZT, the newly sanctioned drug that is believed to curb AIDS, to slow it down, not to cure it.
AZT is every 4 hours, and around the clock, 24 hours a day, until something better comes along, and I'm not knocking it, believe me. It's the AIDS patient's great hope. There, I'm alive. I'm a host to something that in many ways is an accident. If I'd known that I was being exposed, I certainly would have taken steps to prevent it, but I didn't know. So there it was, and here it is, and I have it, and it's got to be dealt with.
Tom Waddell is keeping a diary for his daughter.
My dear child, you must know some things about me to understand more about your own life and how you came to be. You're so delicate and charming and bright as a precious stone. You are a miracle to me, my sweet darling.
Tom Waddell is both a strong and a gentle man, a man of rare physical gifts and of rare sensitivity. Tom Waddell contradicts 2 stereotypes of the athlete and of the homosexual.
I really felt like I was the only homosexual in my entire high school. I thought I was the only homosexual in the world, the only person who had those kind of feelings.
He grew up in Wyckoff, New Jersey.
I liked who I was. I liked what I felt. I didn't want any of that to change. But I didn't want to be this social, physical, bizarre outcast. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to have lots of friends. And I realized the way I was going to do that was not through my intellectual capacity, because I didn't feel any at the time, but through an athletic capacity.
The Empire State Building, New York, highest in the world, attracts the 3 Jackson boys for their so-called daily exercise.
Tom's father, Gene Waddell, the one standing on his hands, taught Tom gymnastics.
Now he's on top.
And his mother taught him ballet.
I really wanted to be a dancer. But who were the dancers in the 50s? They were faggots. It was not something that I could identify with at the time. I was too frightened.
Instead, Tom went to Springfield College on a gymnastics scholarship, and then, after medical school and internship, entered the Army and revived and polished his athletic skills. At the age of 31, he made the United States Olympic team that competed in Mexico City.
I just could not believe this was anything but a dream, that I was there getting ready to compete in the Olympic Games.
Tom Waddell competed not in gymnastics, but in track and field's most demanding test of strength, speed, and stamina, the decathlon.
Oh, he's leading everybody by 30 yards. A tremendous performance by Toomey.
When teammate Bill Toomey won the decathlon and earned the traditional honorary title, the world's greatest athlete, Tom Waddell, the world's sixth greatest, felt he shared Toomey's triumph.
Mounting the podium is Bill Toomey of the United States.
I was just so pleased. I wanted to see him stand on that top rung. He was sharing that with me in a lot of ways.
And no jealousy.
Absolutely not. No.
He should not have made the team, but he did because he's that kind of guy. He's indefatigable. When he sets his mind on something, it happens.
After the 1968 Games, Toomey and Tom traveled together to Africa, among many places, competing and conducting clinics.
After I was long gone and tired, the macho Olympic champion, he'd go that night to a hospital and work on patients all night long in tropical diseases.
Ironically, 11 years ago, when Dr. Tom Waddell told the world in the pages of People magazine that he was a homosexual, the revelation, he calculated, cost him only one friend, Toomey. He did not hear from Bill for more than a decade. Toomey was one of those not uncommon macho males who was made uncomfortable by homosexuality, who made cocktail party jokes about AIDS.
We say things we don't mean. We mean things we don't say.
And when you heard that Tom had AIDS, how did you react?
I was devastated. I really was. I tried to call him on the phone. I couldn't even talk because I was choked up so much. And he's a very valuable person to this planet. And I'll always, think that.
A few months ago, Toomey and Waddell were reunited, drawn together by the reports of Tom's AIDS. Toomey still found it difficult to accept Tom's homosexuality and his illness.
You're looking good.
I want to feel a lot better than I do.
You're going to make it. I know that.
Well, I don't know what that means anymore. But it's not a head.
It'll take 5 years, won't you?
It's not. I'll take 5 months.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. My head is in good shape over this. I need a new body, but my head's fine.
Because mine's not as good as yours.
Oh, no, my head, I'm not worried about death or dying at all.
In 1982, when Tom founded the Gay Games, an Olympics open to heterosexuals, but designed to promote pride among homosexuals, he met Sarah, a gay woman who shared his zest for sports and his desire to have a child.
I liked her instantly. She liked me instantly. And she'd been looking for the right person.
I've always wanted to have a child.
Sarah asked that she not be shown close up on 2020. She did not want to offer too easy a target for people who cringe at the idea of homosexuals reproducing.
I said, wait, I want a child. How would you like to have a baby with me? I felt like I proposed all of a sudden. It was not a typical thing, and he just got tears in his eyes and said yes, right away.
We decided that when the games were over, we'd go away, and we would conceive. And that's precisely what we did.
Before Jessica was born, Tom and Sarah got married. They do not live together, but they see each other almost daily, and Jessie splits her time between their homes.
We don't press anything sexually at her. There's a 90% chance she's going to be straight. Fine. Who cares? I don't care. And Sarah doesn't care. It's whatever she is. The thing is, we want her to grow up feeling that she loves herself.
When Jessie was born, Tom had no idea he had AIDS. But soon after...
Tonight, while I was brushing my teeth, I noted some white patches on my tongue. Sweetheart, I hope it's nothing. But there's a possibility that this is an early sign of AIDS. The horror I feel and the fear of leaving you before you ever really know me is my greatest concern.
Tom found out he carried the AIDS virus. He had ARC, AIDS-related complex.
And I thought, okay, I'm an ARC. Oh, I pray that I'm one of those ARCs that don't go on to form full-blown AIDS. Well, I lost. I was one of those that went on.
Tom's fears were confirmed last summer. 2 weeks before the start of Gay Games 2, he came down with pneumocystis, the punishing and painful lung infection that strikes AIDS patients. Still, Tom presided over the game's opening ceremonies.
If I had to crawl, I was going to be there. 2 days after I got out of the hospital, I threw the javelin. Got tuberculosis in the process. But I wanted my own medal. I didn't want anybody to give me a medal.
And you won.
I won the gold in the javelin.
Did you ever fail at anything?
Boy, that's a good question. No. I can't think of anything I failed at.
Tom's home, a converted gymnasium, perfect for concerts and lectures, has long been a gathering place for his friends, the people who are now making certain that he does not face his lonely battle alone.
That support system is just unbelievable.
In this city, if gays want to be proud of something, they need to be proud about their response to the AIDS crisis. A couple of things have been happening which worry me a bit.
His doctor calls regularly.
Terrific. But I had a low-grade fever the other day, and I occasionally...
Friends check in.
You've brought me food when I've asked you to. You've cleaned my house.
Yeah.
You've done my dishes.
Yeah.
You've given me lots of moral support.
Well, I love you.
I know you do. That's why I asked you to do those things, because there are times when I get down, and there's John. You know, there's John to provide me with the kind of support that I need.
Tom's closest friend, Zahn Artman, moved into Tom's house when he learned that Tom had AIDS.
I wanted to be here to be of help to him. You know, I mean, this is my guy, and I'm going to take care of him. And 10 days after I move in here, I'm diagnosed with AIDS. And I go to the hospital for a month. And I know it was upsetting to Tom that when I got out of the hospital that I didn't come back here, but I had the strongest gut-level feeling I did not want to live or put Tom through living in an AIDS ward.
Tom almost died last winter. He endured a second bout with pneumocystis that still haunts him.
I don't want to get that. I mean, if I get that again, I think that'll be it. So when I get short of breath walking upstairs, the first thing I think about is, oh God, pneumocystis. And that's just a constant fear. Boy. Anybody wants to lose weight and stop smoking, they're going to get AIDS.
Tom can laugh at AIDS and at himself, but he was terrified for a while by the thought that he might have infected Sarah and Jessica. He agonized over whether Sarah should be tested. They debated the psychological impact.
And one evening she came home. I was babysitting. And she said, I've got something to tell you. And I said, oh, is it bad news? She said, no, I'm negative. I did it on my own. I didn't want to tell you, but I just got the results today. And I'll tell you, I was just in tears because it meant Jessica would have been negative too. And I can't tell you what a relief that was.
Tom's father, who still lives in New Jersey, crossed the country a few weeks ago to visit Tom and Jessica.
There were times recently where my fatigue was so extreme and my shortness of breath was so extreme that I thought, I wish I could go to sleep and just not wake up.
I only wish I knew something either to say or to do that would...
But you're doing precisely what I need. You know, being loving and understanding. I mean, look, you and Hazel haven't condemned me, and yet a lot of AIDS patients' parents never want to have anything to do with them again.
I have a feeling, I don't know where it comes from, but I have a feeling that he will survive this. I don't know why, but I do have that feeling. I certainly have that hope.
Oh, man. Oh, please take care. I love you. And please give Hazel my love and a big hug.
Take care.
All right. You too. Bye, Gene.
Bye, Tom.
Realistically, Tom has perhaps a year to live.
I want to be here when he dies, because I want to, you know, I'm good at holding hands. I've had 6 or 7 of my friends die in my arms.
All of your friends, but they're going to miss you so much.
Our memories serve us well. Yeah, they will. But I have friends who have died that I miss terribly, but I get a great joy out of thinking about them.
And someday Jessica will look at pictures.
Same thing.
Can you
What
see
was
that?
Daddy like? You know, and there are enough people around who are going to say, let me tell you what your daddy was like.
Dick, here's a man who is considerate and noble even. I feel there's an air of nobility about him. I think a lot of people are going to wonder, though, if his daughter is at risk in spending time with him. She did not have AIDS.
No, I don't think she's at any risk at all. You know, casual contact is not going to give anyone AIDS, a child, a grown-up, anyone, even correspondents, camera crews, no hazard.
Right.
The whole thing about Tom, though, is, you know, he talks about the end of the memory he has of friends, and there's so many of us who are going to have terrific memories of him. What he's gone through, the courage he's shown. He's in the hospital almost every month, even now. And with everything else, he also has a lawsuit he has to worry about with the United States Olympic Committee suing him for calling the gay games the gay Olympics. But that's in the Supreme Court, and he might win that battle, and then he's got the other battle still to face.
There are not many people with that much courage.
He's a tremendous person.
Thank you, Dick.